Alright, so we're here with a bunch of drivers from the 35 Raceway. We got a variation of drivers. We got sprint cars, 4-cylinders, and modifieds. So if you guys would just go down the line and introduce yourself, what you race, and how long you've been racing.
My name's Chad Hyatt. I race 305 sprint car. I'm also the race director for our little series here. I've been running these cars about 5 years. Before that, I ran midgets and mini sprints here. Been running at 35 for 12 years, 13 years.
Wow.
I'm Charles Dozer. I run a 4-cylinder stock class. I've been racing probably 6-7 years now, but been here since I was a kid watching this guy and just a lot of the greats run throughout the years.
James Deal, I run 4-cylinder stock class. I've been racing here. I race at the old track, I'd say 12, 13 years probably, at least. On and off, and coming as a kid, you know, different tracks and stuff like that. And this is by far one of my favorite. Keeps coming back. Family atmosphere, little brother, big brother. So, you know, bring my whole family with me and stuff. And my daughter's started racing, so just do it as a family thing.
My name's Mark Dixon. I run UMP Modifieds. I've been racing this year here will be my 44th year, and 35, you know, running, well, last year I was track champion here, and just coming to this track here is just unbelievable. The track prep, the people that work here is so friendly, and the tech, and the big thing is the curfew. I mean, like I said, it's nothing for me to get home at 3 or 4 in the morning, but I can come here and race, and I can be home in bed by midnight. You know what I mean? And I'm not right around here. I live in Gallipolis, so it just makes it nice that you can race and have fun and be home at a decent hour.
Awesome. So you guys have been, you know, numerous different years and different series. You know, drivers haven't been to this track. You know, what would you tell them about this track that would get them to come here and you know, just give them a heads up of why this place is unique and different and a great track to come to?
Once again, track prep. I mean, it always comes back to track prep, but you can, anybody in this room can, I mean, it's track prep.
Our cars are right rear dominant, you know. We can go out here and run 5-6 races before we even have to replace a tire. A couple other tracks here in Ohio we run, one race, you're putting a brand new right rear tire on. Track's always good here. It's always fast, and this place is easy on equipment. You know, you may tear your car up here a little bit, but you don't.
Then they'll pull you back to the shop and help you walk.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been on the hook several times and then drove back up to the track.
Yeah, you won't destroy your car. You may tear it up a little bit here, but it's not. It's a good track.
I'd say track. You know, the racing on the track itself is unique on its own. You're on a smaller track. You have to drive the car. You can't outspin somebody and expect to go out there and race. You have to be able to drive the car. You have to have the setup. And in the pits, the biggest thing is if you don't have the right setup, you go ask somebody, hey, what are you doing? You know, and all the guys in the pits are more than welcome to help. You know, it's a family atmosphere. You know, it's friendly and family. And there's several times we've had somebody that's had something broken. There would be six guys from the stock class helping one guy to get him back out there for the feature and stuff, you know, or we'd even go over, you know, like maybe Chad needs to help a push or something like that, you know. It's not for class to class, it's just everybody in the pits. So.
And then that day I sent out my setup in that group text by accident.
Yeah. And then everybody was fast.
That was fun.
I think, like you said, the big thing is track prep, and then this track here, it's a driver. You can spend the most money you know anybody can spend. That don't mean you're going to win here. You got to know how to drive here. And the big, you know, on the track like this, being as small, is you got to learn to slow down and go fast.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun track, good competition. You yourself were in a race last year, very at the end of the year, with 4 of the top 5 Ohio drivers. So that was a pretty fun race. How was that race for you?
Well, to me, I like it because then you get to see where you're at. I like to see everybody come here, the best of the best, and then you find you know how good you really are then. And I just, like I said, that and the curfew, getting done at a good time is unbelievable.
Yeah, so competition, we kind of just touched on it in the modified classes, is pretty good. There's some great drivers coming through there. 4-cylinder stocks and 4-cylinder classes seems like, there's a couple guys that might dominate a few weeks in a row, but then everybody kind of equals out. So what's the competition like for your class?
I think it's pretty equal. It's getting more and more. It's getting better and better. The more we're helping each other, that's what you got to do. You got to help. You can't just set on your setups and stuff. Why don't you try to make everybody fast so you can try to outdrive that person fast?
And it comes down to the driving part of it.
Yeah.
You got a lot of younger guys that come out there and stuff, and the first couple of weeks they don't know, that you have to let out at some point, and they figure it out real fast. And 1 week you might be passing that guy like he's sitting still, and the next week he's passing you like he's sitting still. So it's just a game, and you got to play it. So, and the competition's always. I don't think we really had anybody that really ran away from the field all year long. I mean, it's been a pretty tight pack. There might be 2 or 3 cars racing for the lead at any given time. And then you go on back in the field and it's the same way. You have groups of cars just racing side by side.
That's getting even better and better every year. You can watch videos and see that.
That's a safety thing too. I mean, you don't want your new guys. This year we're going to have 4, maybe 5 rookies. We're going to go over and we're going to help them put setups under their cars. You don't want a guy on a bull ring like this, 10 miles an hour slower than you. It's you want them to be able to be competitive and be able to stay out of your way if they need to. So I think it's a safety thing, not just share setups, help each other, and a competition thing. That makes for better racing.
You're not going to come here and make a living off of racing, but you're going to come and have a good time. And if you have problems along the way, if somebody in the pits can't help you, one of the crew guys will help you. I can't tell you how many times I've had mine loaded up by the boom truck onto the trailer because there was nothing left, stupid something break or something, but the crew guys were always there, hey, we'll lift it up, or hey, you need a hand, or like he said, we need something welded, bring it on back, we'll get her fixed for you, get your butt back out there. So, and you're going to come, you're going to meet new people if you're as a new guy, and you should have a really good time. I mean, sometimes things don't go the way you want. A lot of times, you might have a bad night, but come back next week and do it again, and it's a good time all the time. So,
From 1 to 10, I know we talked about competition at the track. 1 to 10, 1 being low, 1 being 10. How's the competition here at 35 Raceway?
9, 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the track's always fast, and
It's not follow the leader track.
with sprint cars, you go to a big track, especially wing sprint cars. They fall in line, they stay in line, and then our restarts are single file. So here we're always side by side. We're always passing. It's.
And from a tower perspective on competition here, if you don't hear me and talking during the race, that's how competitive it is. We're up there watching, but not always. And then another question, we talked to Joe and Tech earlier. Elaborate on how our tech may differ versus other tracks.
Tracks don't have tech.
yeah, most of them.
You have tech. My car's been checked a million times. You failed. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna
bring it up.
he packed his stuff up and drove away.
And that's why Joe explained it on how there's a list for each class of what he can check, what he can check.
Yep.
But yet he'll only check maybe a couple this week, a couple different. That's the way somebody can't say, oh, well, all they're going to check is my carburetor, so I'll just make sure it's legal and everything else. You never know in our tech what's going to be checked that way.
Do you think that we need to be more strenuous on our teching than we are now? Or are we doing
I think
enough
you're
to
doing a
keep
super job.
everybody on a plane,
I think
playing
it's
the
pretty-
same plane?
I think it shows on the track. I
Yeah.
mean, you got even racing, you got even tech. So I think we're good. I think we're good with the tech in it. So.
No more tech.
Well, I know no
But like
driver
he-
ever wants to see a tech.
And like he said, I like to go home and sleep in my bed before midnight too.
Yeah, that's a big
You
thing.
get back here at tech, and you guys, Joe, there might be times you're back here 2 or 3 hours at tech.
There's such thing when we first tech in the first part of the year, when you bring your car here the first time, you're gonna get a ribbon put on your car. at that point in time, we're gonna look and see everything that you got, from your shoes to your helmet and all that stuff.
Safety wise, you can't do enough,
safety
Tech,
stuff.
the way I see
So
it.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
The safety stuff is what we need to really look at.
Yep, safety wise, I'm all for more tech on that, that's not a problem.
The other thing is, I know everybody that's in the infield are knowledgeable about open wheel cars, the stocks, the compacts, the modifieds, because a lot of times as a driver, you get into a little, you spin out, especially on a sprint car. I want somebody to look. I don't want to be dragging one of my torsion bar arms or a shock, and I always, if any of these guys look at my car and they go, "You're good," I know I'm good, because there's a lot of things that can happen.
I mean, if you got a bent wheel on your car, you need to know that.
Yeah.
You might not be, I know you can feel it inside the car, but you might not know how bad it is, and you want somebody to explain to me what's going on with it.
And another thing is the squad being on hand and stuff, and always having a squad crew and stuff. That's a big thing for me, especially my daughter started racing last year, 13 years old. She got a couple races in, and she's gonna be racing all the time this year and stuff. I love the idea of a squad being here, safety crew being here, and knowing, something happens. I've been to racetracks where their idea of a squad was a gremlin wagon with a stretcher in the back and a fire extinguisher duct taped to the side of it. And it wasn't pretty, and
So you're
the
saying
whole
they
time I'm racing, I'm thinking, don't die, because these guys ain't coming to get you.
They had no insurance?
From a family view of it, I want all of you to know that I've had little kids come up and ask about each and every one of you. Like one little girl one time, excuse me, get pulling on coat. Is that car with the big zero gonna be here tonight? Yeah, he's here. Well, what about that orange that's got the black front end on it? But you all do have a lot of support for us fans. But that's reason we try to keep it family orientated here. We try to do a lot for the kids.
Yep.
The 24th, the second week of race is a big day for the kids.
Yep.
That's when you get to ride the cars.
Yep, the ride along with the bicycle races.
Yeah.
Candy scrambling
Yeah.
and stuff. I love going out for all that stuff. I mean, seeing those kids smile from ear to ear and have a
Yeah,
blast.
That's
you know,
the future. just
Well,
like I
that's
said.
it.
That,
You two have been here since you was little.
Yeah.
well, and the big thing is, if we don't have the kids, and all the fans, we don't have to worry about coming here.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Without the people in the stands, we can't do what we love doing.
I had so many kids in and out of my car because I got that big shark mouth on the side. They love that thing.
Yes.
I just plan on them crawling in. I actually made a little wood step to go over my header. It's got one little boy burned his tennis shoe last year. And
That was one time. I accidentally did it.
I told you to stay out of his car.
I know I've given out multiple pictures of most of your guys' cars and brought even kids back to get autographs, and they think you guys are the biggest things in the world. They don't know you any different from somebody on TV. So that's an atmosphere that
That's the way I felt when I was little.
yeah.
Like,
So
And that's
like
what
Mike
you
Moore
guys
with the
have
chip
created
bags,
yeah,
for
so
them.
I know
You-
my kids personally have a couple of your pictures you signed for them last year. I believe they have one of yours as well. So they think you guys are larger than life. So and if I take somebody back in the pits to get an autograph, it's clean. Everybody's having a good time. We don't allow things like alcohol or things like that in the pits, and it's just a family
But
atmosphere.
that makes our night just as much as it does theirs.
right.
I mean, I've had a couple kids come. I'm like, oh, I'm shaking.
Aw. What's my name?
I spelled it
Check my
wrong.
underwear.
Look at the side of the car. See what my number is.
Oh, that's great.
That's like our series is the mini sprints kind of went away in Ohio. So it's like last year we took 4 sprint cars to London, Ohio to the quarter midget track. We're the next step for the mini sprint, the 14 to 16-year-old quarter midget kids. So kids, I mean, that's what's going to feed all this, the next generation. That's one reason why I'm the race director for our series, and one reason why I took it on, because sometimes, believe me, I just want to be a racer. But they have to have a place to go, and tracks like this are perfect for them to cut their teeth and start running these cars.
Okay,
And
so
I'm sure it's in
driving.
all, you know.
Gotta drive.
Yeah, like
all
with our
series,
track,
every series.
Yeah, and like most of your drivers and stuff, you'll see them in the stands just as much as you will in the pits and in the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Always, I'm just as big as fans watching the modifieds and the sprints, you know, I'm like, hopefully nothing breaks on my car, that way I can go to the stands and watch the features
Yeah.
of somebody else or something, you know.
Yeah, it's critical. in a heat
And
race.
you walk through and you talk to the kids and stuff and other families, and you'll sit beside somebody, hey, what car do you drive? Oh, yeah, I seen you out there. It's like, oh, don't, did I do something wrong? Yeah, you know, but, you know, in the pits and the stands, it's a family atmosphere,
yeah,
you
it's
know,
awesome.
everywhere you go, it's family.
Perfect. Well, I thank you guys for your time. Good insight and creating some excitement for the track in the upcoming season. So appreciate your time and thank you for everything you've given us today.
Thank
I wanna
you.
thank the whole crew,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
all
yeah,
you guys, you
absolutely.
know what I mean?